All right, welcome to the 2025 greatest bull market of all time setup. What are we going to do today? We're going to go ahead and add $500 to the portfolio buying power. We're going to take a look at that, and we're going to pick some stocks live, and we'll give you the why. I'm going to make a video separate from that. Point is, if you're new investor, I just want to showcase we're going to double this portfolio. How can you tell? Well, if you go back 1 year. Okay. All right. Let's go back. We started this about a month ago. Okay. We started about a month ago. Here's the flat line. There's nothing in there. We added 1,000 about 2 weeks ago. Okay. Now we added 500. So you'll be able to see when we hit this flat line, you can see there was nothing in here for about a year. Right. So you'll be able to see how much is added to the portfolio over time by finding this straight line. And then you can look at the gains over time. So right now we're up, right? The percent, and when you add money, it doesn't give you percentage, right? That's what this is for, to measure. So right now we're up in the portfolio about 20%, right? In a matter of 2 weeks. And of course, yeah, I mean, things are volatile, but we're up. Okay, we'll just go to the last month. We're up 20% in the last week. We're going to add some stocks to this, probably do about 5 stocks, $100 each. All right. Let me go ahead, and I should have added this video too. Is our volume working? Let's make sure we have everything on here. Welcome to the channel if you're new, where we mostly invest in disruptive technology. All right, we're good there with the volume, disruptive technology, and especially the macro cycles, right? We're in the cycle. I'm telling you guys, we're at the point. This is where you want to be bullish, okay? Not financial advice, but this is where you want to be bullish. The environment is saying, hey, we're ready to, the environment is so bullish. Probably the most bullish environment I've seen since I started investing. All right. You can throw your questions in the comments if you want. I'm going to post this to the Discord. We should have a free Discord link at the bottom also. So go ahead and check that out. All right, is this there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. At the bottom, you can see, why are we doing that? 2025. This is the beginning of the strongest bull market in history. All right. We're going to add growth stocks to the portfolio. There's different reasons why we're going to add them, and we're going to cover that briefly. We're not going to talk too much. I don't want to waste your time. I want you to just see what it looks like, how it feels, right? Not necessarily, personal situation. This is not about personal finance. This is just an example of why and when, so that you feel more comfortable in the future when you decide to invest, or if you're already invested, then you can copy it. And I'm just kidding. Don't copy me, right? This is not for you to copy, but so let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to first do this. Well, let's take a look at where we're at first with these investments individually. So last week we picked, let me see, we picked Chainlink. That was the number one pick last week. Chainlink up 40%, 39%. Let's zoom in there. Chainlink, we're up 40%, right, so far. We put about $100 in each of these. I put a little more in Chainlink, weighted it more. We're up 27% on Ethereum. We're up 5% on Bitcoin. Right, scrolling down. We're up 10% on Tesla. We're down on MicroStrategy. This is going to be a big one. We might actually add to this. We're down on MicroStrategy. We're up 94% on Bitmine Technologies, right? So far, so good. Well, part of this too is this is the way better if you're going to invest in anything, right? If there wasn't an era to invest in or a time to be long stocks and technology, it's now. It's not real estate. It's not this other crap. There's probably some exogenous stuff out there you might get lucky on. This is the easiest way to double your money. This is the easiest way, long-term wealth, easiest way, right? Especially if you learn how to do it. If you don't know what you're doing, obviously nothing is easy, right? I always make the example. It's like driving a car. Okay. If you don't know how to drive, very risky. If you learn how to drive, it's not that risky. If you're on the highway, very risky. If you know how to drive on the highway, not risky. So you just have to learn. You got to be knowledgeable. Let's go ahead and dive deep in this. So there's our portfolio. We're going to add to this. Now I'm going to go to the growth challenge. Here's what we're going to add to my wall. Actually, we'll just put it up here in the ticker. So first stock today is going to be CRM, Salesforce. If you're familiar with Salesforce, all right. We'll take a look at the chart. I'll give you a little reasons why we're going to add to Salesforce here. All right, so we're gonna throw up the charts for Salesforce because a lot of this isn't just fundamental, CRM. And if there's anything else you guys want to see, or if there's something that could be better improved, let me know. I'll take that feedback so that we can improve when we do these updates on the portfolio and we add to it. I want to stick with 500 right now, every other week, every month. No, when there's an opportunity, right? When I see an opportunity, we're going to add 500. All right. So first and foremost, we'll look at the charts here. You can see CRM. I like to look at charts first, right? Now, is that the best way to do it? There's so many ways to get into it, but when I see a strong chart, a strong uptrend, you can see the stock's been going higher. Then I say, that's interesting. It's been moving up. Now I'm already familiar with Salesforce, so I wouldn't start this way. But if you've heard about it, it is the #1 CRM platform. They compete with Microsoft, of course. But my thesis is, and we'll look a little more into it, if you're competing against Microsoft and AI in the future, you don't want to be using Microsoft's technology. You want to be using somebody who you're not competing with. So I believe Salesforce has a huge edge, right? It is a growth stock. It's cyclical because the more employees that are added to the economy, the more potential for Salesforce, since they optimize your employee workforce, right? So they're the leader in CRM software, expanding with AI analytics. Blah, blah, blah. So they're basically analytics. They're an analytics data company. They use AI to make you more efficient, to increase your productivity, security, XYZ, right? Super AI. They're going to be adding AI agents, right? What are these? Well, an AI agent, for example, is like, hey, you know what? Right now you can Google, or you can chat GPT what to do. How do I do this? What does this mean? But you can't say, hey, go order me a burrito down the street. Make sure they include hot sauce, put eggs on the side, right? You can't do that yet. That's like a real person. That's like having a personal assistant. These AI agents are going to be like personal assistants where you just tell them what to do and they go do it. They get your data. They have your identity data, right? That's kind of scary. But they execute things, right? And that's going to be huge for productivity in business. It's going to save you a lot of time so you can do other things so that businesses can allocate. This isn't necessarily for you retail individuals. This is for businesses, right? So this is a high margin business. And number two, what else? Let's get some other details on it. We don't want to go deep dive. If you want to do a deeper dive, just jump over to my website where I do a deeper dive on these stocks. And I'll show you that really quick. Let's go ahead and jump to that. Do I have it right here? I got so many screens open. Pretty sure it's on here. Come on, where you at? Where you at? There you go. This is going to be in the YouTube description also. So this is our investor playbook, right? Just breaking down the different themes. You have AI, blockchain, big data, cloud computing, power generation, energy storage, financial innovation, industrials, blah, 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 right? There's so many things on here. So if you find CRM at the very top, I just did a get straight to the point because some people don't want to read it. They just want to know, hey, what are you looking at this week? So CRM is one of those that we're looking at right here, right? If you scroll down, you're going to see a breakdown. We did a breakdown of Tesla. A lot of people already know about Tesla. Not too many know about CRM. So we should have the CRM. Oh, it's not up yet. Okay, we'll do that. Why is it not up here? I think I added it later. Anyways, these are all these spaces are going to get filled up as a moat or a competitive advantage analysis, right? You're going to get a little breakdown. You can look it up yourself, but if you don't want to be doing all that research, you just look it up on here, see what the competitive advantage is. These are not financials necessarily. These are more, so what is the core of the business? What do they do? What do they solve? And why are they important? What is the why, right? All right, let's get back to our charts and our reasons why. But I'm looking at this stock right now. Salesforce is down about 50% also. Okay. So we're down about 50%. Let's go ahead and check. We're on the weekly chart. I like to look at the weekly chart more than anything. We're down about, okay, not 50. We're down 38% for this monster AI. The market cap is around 255 billion. This will be $1 trillion company in the next 5 years, more than likely. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but given the trajectory right now, I think we're going to be there. Now, support, when it comes to finding support on a stock, right? I like to say, hey, some people just use PE and fundamentals, but when you're in a strong bull market, you use technicals. It doesn't matter necessarily what the fundamentals are. It just matters, is this idea going to get bought up? The market is emotional. It's about what is the future. Okay. Now, when you get trickier, when the macroeconomics is not in your favor, when the macro is tricky, that's when you look at the fundamentals. You have to be fundamentally sound, because you're now competing against capital. You're now competing against the best companies. But when the macro is so strong, when money is flowing, when interest rates are falling or expected to fall, when the government is printing money like crazy, when the AI narrative is strong, everything goes up. You look at the technicals, right? So first and foremost, we're seeing a bullish, well, we're coming into this support. You can see right here, we had, this is what, back in 2022, we had some resistance, right? Resistance. So you got stuck here twice, then you had support. So we're in the support zone, boom, boom, right? We're in that zone of support. We're down 38%. Market's in a bull market. We're going to get a shift pretty soon, a rotation. And is this going to be the perfect buy? No, it could definitely fall further down to 200, and we can add to that later. But I think this is a good point in the bull cycle where we're at support, good company, a leader in AI agents and CRM technology, right? So they're integrating Einstein across products, high recurring revenue. Yeah, we get it. The total addressable market is pretty huge. They acquired Slack, and yeah, this is a strong company. I'll let you look it up yourself. I'll let you do a deeper dive. That was just a small overview. So we're in this zone. So we're going to go ahead and buy this around 238, 240. How high does it go? We're not doing technical analysis today. This is more so just buying the stock, right? Let's go ahead and switch to our Robinhood account. So we're going to type in CRM. Salesforce pops up. Boom, we got it. Salesforce, right? We're going to be buying in dollars. Of course, you could buy in shares, but we're doing it, we don't have unlimited money. We're going to use that 500 to buy $100 of each stock. So we're going to go 100, gives us about a 0.42 of a share. Review, buy the stock. There we go, done. So now we have almost half a share of Salesforce, but we're putting in about $100. If it slips lower in the future and it makes sense, we'll buy more, right? So next stock, I don't want to waste your time. Our next stock, it should be down there. XMTR. This one just had earnings. They're crushing it. I think this can be a 10 bagger. I really think this one could be it. Let's go ahead and get to the charts first. I think this can be a 10 bagger in the future, right? Going forward, why? I'm going to give that explanation here. So Xometry, XMTR. This is Xometry. We've been talking about this stock for a while. I made some videos back here at like 2022. It's breaking out of a technical trend. So technicals also give me in this. I'm like, wow, this is a nice technical trend. Where it really gets crazy is when it breaks above this line and goes into parabolic mode, right? We're going to go into parabolic phase. If it can get past here, this downtrend or this sideways trend, this is kind of the uptrend. It might just come back down, who knows? But this is a good point of control. They had earnings. They crushed it. They're doing better. They're turning positive. They do have some debt restructuring they need to do in 2025, but this is a bull market. The manufacturing cycle is picking up. This is a digital manufacturing stock, okay? What does that mean? Well, they're the leader in this. They're using AI. These are all AI companies, by the way, that we're looking at. Some you may know, some you may not. Xometry is the leader in AI digital manufacturing. So what they do simply, just to break it down, they basically, when it comes to, it usually takes about 12 days or 16 days for manufacturing companies to find parts, right? Custom parts to build whatever they're doing. And it takes some time. They have to go call these vendors. Hey, do you have it? Do you have the part? Can you make it? How long does it take? And basically that process takes 2 weeks. Sometimes it takes 7 days. It takes too long. They have this automated processor, this AI, where it literally finds all the buyers, all the sellers. You punch in what part you need and also kind of what it might look like. What are the specs that you're going to need for this part? Why? Boom, 30 seconds, it gives you a quote. So it's an AI quoting system. You can think of it like Amazon. I like to think of it like Amazon Marketplace, but for manufacturing parts, for custom manufacturing. And I'm sure they're going to grow big enough. This is like a 2 billion market cap. They're probably going to grow big enough in the future where they're doing more than just custom parts. They're probably going to be getting some subscriptions or some long-term contracts, right? So they're starting to scale. They're early in their growth phase. The global manufacturing, market is about 30 trillion. It's humongous. Now, are they going to penetrate all that? No. But if they get 1% of the global. I mean, this is a 10x, easy 10x stock. So I think this has 10x potential. Timeframes, you never know, right? You never know. But right now, like I said, we're in the strongest bull market setup. Interest rates haven't even came down yet. When those cut, this market, this is going to explode when interest rates get cut. And it's not about we need to go to zero. It just means we need the cutting cycle to continue, right? Ironically, weaker employment gives us faster cuts. It's just like a wave. All right. So that's Xometry for you, AI-driven manufacturing marketplace disrupting. They call it procurement. Can't even say it. Procurement. Okay. So finding the parts and how they fit you. Big network of suppliers. I've done a video on this one too. There's also a breakdown, like I said, in the investor playbook. There's a breakdown of Xometry's business, so you can look that up. All right. So let's go ahead and buy this on Robinhood. And we're going to do $100. Obviously, this is a smaller priced stock. So we're going to get more shares, right? So XMTR, Xometry. All right, we're buying in dollars, buy order. How many are we going to buy? We're going to buy 100. So we get about 2 shares. We get a little over 2 shares. Review. There we go. Now we own some Xometry, right? And I wish I would have had this earlier. It just started to break out, right? But I wanted to wait till after earnings. It's always a good tip to wait for after earnings. If you're a trader, you probably have some type of strategy, but if you're investing, wait for the earnings. Wait to see how the investors feel and what the real numbers are. So this stock is moving higher. I think we have potential here to really start to move up. Let's go to the next stock. No comments. I don't see no questions on this. We're going to go to the next one. All right. So we're going to start with the charts. I always like to start with the chart. That's me. Next, we have LMND. We have Lemonade Insurance. We talked about this one before. Now, this one's breaking out. This one's absolutely, I mean, I'm probably going to trade it. I want to see a little pullback in the 50 level, but we had been talking about Lemonade Insurance for all the way from here, I think in January 2025. Yeah, somewhere around $30. I mean, the market's wild. There's a lot of good stuff. I like crypto, but this is another AI play on insurance disrupting a $2 trillion industry. This is a huge industry. I use I use Lemonade Insurance. So I realized like, oh my God, this is way better to use. I don't have to deal with people. It's smoother. The financials are good. They have a huge market. You can probably find some videos that break down. That's not what we're doing today. But Lemonade Insurance is a solid company. All right. This is AI driven digital insurance. Let's see. They find the best deals quick. They use AI. They have a big dashboard. And I think this is for younger people. Like some younger people like this, right? The millennial age is more likely to use this. They want time. They don't want to be dealing with people online. I hate talking to people when it comes to buying insurance. I don't want to talk to you unless I have a real issue that the AI can't solve, but I don't want to talk to people. I just want to get to it. I got things to do. I got videos to watch. I got workouts to work. All right. So they do AI-driven underwriting, claims processing. I'm just trying to see millennial, Gen Z customers, behavioral economics. This stock can move. Okay, this company can move. So that's Lemonade. Let's go ahead and buy it now. All right, Lemonade Insurance. LMND is the ticker symbol. All right, so we're gonna get almost 2 shares for this one. Let's go ahead and put in $100. There we go. Order executed. And we'll look at the diversity of the portfolio after we buy all these stocks. All right. Let's go back to the charts. Next stock should be on the bottom there. You should be able to see it. It is Lululemon. Oh, we started. Okay, so I know we started with CRM. It's not in order. Oh, I put it on there twice. My bad. Okay, so we're gonna go to Lululemon. Lululemon solid. I like Lululemon as a company. Dang it, come on. I think they're gonna swing back. Lululemon's gonna come back. I can't believe how far it went down though. So basically they're eating up a lot of revenue, a lot of sales. I'm sorry, inventory. I know they're getting crushed on inventory. But this is a cyclical stock. Look, we're going to get tax cuts in 2025. The market's going to see, we're going to look back. We're going to look forward. And with these tax cuts, it's going to put more money in shoppers' pockets as long as Lululemon comes out with a new, they're going to come out with a new product. They're going to revamp their marketing. Consumers are going to have more money. Right now, the consumer is slowing. So it makes sense. But it's counter-cyclical. This is already pricing in the weakness, the revenue, whatever it is. This is in an uptrend, in a long-term uptrend. So I like this technically wise. Okay. Now the RSI, here's what's interesting. We should have looked at this on the other ones. I don't necessarily want to see the MACD yet because it's not a breakout, but this is the relative strength index. It's basically a momentum indicator. We have bullish divergence. The last low, right? The previous swing low measured to the current swing low is down, right? When it comes to price, when it comes to buying pressure, that is actually starting to pick up, right? That's bullish divergence. So there's more shares being picked up or more buying pressure coming into the market versus where the price is at. That's going to set up for a strong breakout. Does it go back to all-time highs? I don't know. Maybe not right away, but I believe it's going to hit all-time highs in the next couple of years. We want to buy the stock when it's low, right? We want to own it when it's cheap. Anything significant with Lululemon? They say it's a leader in premier athletic apparel, blah, 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 expanding globally, unmatched. They're going to expand globally. I haven't done a super deep dive in this, but when I see prices like this and I understand, in the past, what the potential is, I understand this is a macro issue, right? China trade deals when it comes to inventory, slowing consumer. So we're going to bounce back and it could go lower, right? Of course it could go lower. This is not the bottom. I'm not saying this is the bottom. I'm saying we're at the point where you're pretty much near the bottom. You got to use probabilities here, and this business is going nowhere. All right. So let's go ahead and buy some Lululemon. Let's buy some Lululemon stock. Switch this up. Lulu. All right, we're going to do 100. So we're going to get about half a share here. I know some of you guys are going to do some leap calls. All right, done. All right, so next stock. These are going to be stocks that are getting crushed. I would never even look at these stocks. They're more of, trades for me than long-term owns, meaning they can be disrupted at any time. But given where the price is at, that's why I want to own it, right? For the short, maybe it's 6 months. It's not, a lot of people are like, oh, you got to own it forever. No, you don't. You ain't got to earn it. There's probably like 2 or 3 stocks you want to own forever. Most stocks you don't want to own forever. You play the upside, right? You buy low, you sell high. And in general, we're not talking day trading. That's not what I'm talking about. You hold the business till it appreciates enough, right? What are those details? Ooh, stay tuned. That's why I'm doing this, because you can't deliver everybody all the juice all at once. Nobody wants to watch a 2-hour course video. Maybe a couple of you do, but let's just lead by example here. All right, so next stock is going to be, what is it? UNH? Yep, UNH. A lot of you guys have already seen this, UNH. Okay, absolutely destroyed. I mean, this thing is overblown. Same thing. You got bullish divergence here. Actually, this is not showing bullish divergence yet, but it got crushed so bad. I think it's going to retest a little lower. The RSI starting to pick up. There is buying pressure coming in here. So we could be in this downward pattern for another 3 or 4 months before it breaks out and at least gets back to about 350. I have it when I do my technical measurements. We're not doing TA on here, but just to give a short little synopsis on what's going on here, this is going to break out eventually. It's going to retest 300, 350, maybe even run to 400, right? Maybe by the end of the year. We don't know. But it's at a solid price right now. I want to own some of it. It's overblown, definitely overblown. And, it's still a solid business. It's not going to zero. It's just not something I want to own over Bitcoin. No, for sure not. All right. So let's go ahead and buy some UNH. The big story on UNH is I'm going to do a video separate that explains these buys a little more in depth. Just not right now. They have massive scale. Okay. They're integrating AI. They're going to be integrating AI. They're going to rebrand. They're going to do, they're going to rebrand all their stuff. It's just really a buy the dip stock, to be honest with you. All right. So let's go ahead and buy some UNH. Here we go. UNH, United Healthcare. Oh, they got leverage United Healthcare. All right, we're gonna do. This was like a what $600 stock at one point. $100 buy. There we go. Done. Okay. Next stock. The next stock is it's very oversold. This is probably the worst charts. It's not a bad chart for a trader. This is probably one of the worst charts in the market. Like as far as how bad it's gotten destroyed. ENPH, in phase solar energy. Okay. If I go back, 3 years, I remember this was $6. I remember in 2018, one of my roommates who actually got me into Robinhood, he was buying this at $6 and then he sold it at like $7 or $8 and it went all the way to 300. He would have been a millionaire, right? So if we go back to 2020, we have a volume shelf here. This is more technical stuff. We're not going over that, but that's kind of what got me interested. I'm like, all right, this thing's getting destroyed. It's probably going to have some bullish divergence. Actually, that is bullish divergence. The fact that the RSI won't dip. Now, has it bottomed yet? Who knows? But this is far enough. If you're looking 12 months out, it's going to rebound. It's going to rebound. From what I remember, a lot of it is China, stuff going on with China. I think they're getting hit with like 250, like 2,000% tariffs. That's going to end eventually. We're going to get a trade deal, right? There's other factors. They're increasing their tech, their solar cells, blah, blah, blah. They're going to rebound. The equity market is, it's just a matter of when. And I think we're going to be hitting support here. So ENPH is the last one. This is not, I do not recommend this, by the way, to be investing in. This is more fun, right? We're going to trade this account too. If ENPH doubles, if it doubles or triples, you might want to, sell a little bit, go buy a better stock, right? Position trade. We're position trading this. We're not just holding forever. That's silly. That is silly for this style of investing. This is growth investing. And really what it is, it's macro investing. We're investing in the macro cycle. When the cycle's strong, you get long growth. When we start to weaken, then we're going to get, we're going to rotate. We're going to learn this along the way. But for now, we want to be in these growth names, which is why we're in Tesla, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BMNR, Chainlink. We're in, macro thematic investing for your portfolio. We're already at 20, 30%. All right, let's go buy some ENPH. We're not going to buy very much of it. I don't even think we have that much buying power left. We got $30 of buying power left. So we're going to buy like $25, a quarter of a position, risky position. So we're only going to buy $25 worth of this in phase. A lot of people are trying to bottom ticket. So there we go. All right, now let's go ahead and head back to our portfolio. All right, there we go. So like I said, we now have invested a total of $1,500 in the portfolio. We'll keep up with this. We had a dip for a while. This wasn't really the start, though. This is when I decided to start the idea. I believe we started here August 5th, something like that on YouTube. If you want to see, dang, there's too many. Oh, is this the tab? Here it is. So we're going to be using this one on this watch list, this playlist, I'm sorry, on YouTube. It's the Robinhood portfolio update. So you can go watch the previous one where we invested, some of these, where we got long Tesla, Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of those plays. And then it'll be added to this playlist if you're interested, or if it's easier to track, right? I need to get better at finding things on YouTube, but that's what we're doing when it comes to that portfolio. All right. You know what? We're missing. I just realized we're missing a stock that I wanted to add. We're missing one. Maybe we'll do this live then. Maybe we'll do this live. So the last one that I actually wanted to add, how did I miss it on here? That's what I messed up. I messed up. Make mistakes. Make mistakes. I actually wanted to add Tempus AI. Yeah, I wanted to add Tempus AI. You guys familiar with that one? This is the wrong chart. Tempus AI, I believe, is starting to break out also. All right, so TEM. Yeah, I think it's starting to break out, starting to hold that 55 level. That was the big level. Remember, this is the stock that initially broke out last year when Nancy Pelosi basically showed in the filings that she bought $1 million call options, right? So that thing shot up. We traded this right here all the way up to about 80. I think I got out around 74 to 80, most of it. Went all the way up to 92. Came back down strong and it bounced hard. And I was like, oh, I'm not trading this anymore. I'm going to wait for it to consolidate. So I think this is the consolidation. We just need to clear about 75 bucks. It's going to break out again. So this is what I wanted to look at. I'm looking at this downtrend. We're starting to get above this downtrend. So that's why I like Tempus AI. Other than the fact that they're doing oncology, they're basically using AI to heal cancer, right? To go after, I'm not, I don't know all the language in it. It's a lot of research, but they're using it to do, what is it called? AI powered precision medicine. They just had 90% year over year growth. So this is about data sets in large data sets into deep pharma. This is it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of research there. Let's see if you're not familiar with it. You can go find it. Kathy Wood has a lot of research on it. First mover advantage, right? In AI driven healthcare. That's going to be a big business. I think this could be $100 billion stock in the future. Has a huge total addressable market for sure. SoftBank, the biggest bank in Japan, is one of the major alliances or investing in this thing, right? So that means I need more buying power. I'm going to do that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to have to send. Now, the cool thing about this is, cool thing about Robinhood is that it has stable coins. So I can convert my my USDC instead of like, how you have to deposit cash, it takes like 3 days. I just send my USDC. I just send my stable coins and it settles instantly. And I have money to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Does anybody want to see that process? Kind of what it looks like. Dang, LMND, Lemonade's up to 60 bucks. This thing's starting to break out. Okay. Yeah, let's do that process. So I'll show you guys how this works for Tempus AI. So what you do is, what I would do usually, I'll go to USDC. All right, so you're on. Oh, let me switch the camera. All right, there we go. All right, so this is this is stable coins, right? This is why stable coins are so big. This is why I'm so bullish on crypto and chain links more specifically, because it powers stable coins, right? So you have the USDC. It's funny. Chainlink literally powers all these price feeds. Like all this data on here is powered by Chainlink. Make a video about that soon. All right. So USDC, here's what you do to receive it. Now that's because I have crypto. Like I sell some crypto and I buy some stocks. Instead of holding cash, I use USDC. It pays you what? It pays you like 4%. And that's rate's going to go down as the Fed cuts. But what I do is go to send and receive crypto right here. This sounds like a scam, huh? Send and receive crypto. I'm going to go on the receiving end of the USDC. It gives me a little QR code on the Ethereum network. And what I can do with my phone, right? With my phone is I just use my camera. I scan it. All right. I scan it. Did I just do that wrong? What am I doing here? Here we go. Okay. My bad. I did that wrong. I'm going to go to send. There we go. I'm going to go to send. You see the send button? Okay. I'm going to go to send. I'm on USDC. I'm going to go to the send button right there. I'm going to send it. And then it gives me a camera view. There we see that. It gives me a camera view so I can scan that QR code. There we go. Then it picks up a code. I'm not going to show you that account, right? Now I can go ahead and send through the Ethereum network. Let's do 100 because we're going to buy some Tempus AI. Submit. Your transfer is on your way. So we should see $100 pop up here, and I'm gonna refresh this. We should see $100 pop in here pretty soon. The Ethereum network takes a little longer than Solana. Solana is faster, but that's not what makes Solana more valuable than Chainlink. So yeah, Lemonade Insurance. Man, that thing is popping. The market is strong right now. The market is very strong. While we're waiting for this, I mean, we can kind of discuss. There's a lot of consumer discretionary stocks. Where's Tesla at? I was going to make some trades. I think Tesla's going to break out pretty soon. I'm going to leave it on this page though, so we can see that USDC come in. I don't know how it looks in live. I don't know what it looks like live. But who are the strong stocks today? I'm thinking about making. You have Nvidia. Who is this? BMNR, of course, at 62. That's consolidating. AMD is up today. Open Door, is it going to make another breakout? Maybe. You got Tesla up. Whatever. It's all about crypto. Honestly, it's all about crypto right now. Let's go to the crypto watch list, see what we're looking at here. You got Bitcoin at 122,000. Bitcoin's about to break out. Let's switch over to Bitcoin really quick before this USDC comes in. I don't know how long that's going to take. Look at the price of Bitcoin, right? Look at this wedge pattern. Now we're kind of talking technicals here, but there's just too much demand for Bitcoin, not enough supply. MicroStrategy, I think, is going to be one of the best trades in the market. I know this is more of an investing, but we have some MicroStrategy. We bought some of it. I expect it to definitely outperform, up there with most of the crypto plays. But that's nice, right? We're starting to close on the daily chart for the first time above 122. The highest I think Bitcoin's closed in the day was 120. We got up to 122, but we're about to close. MSTR should be catching a bid here. You see how it's lagging? This is actually a great opportunity that MicroStrategy is lagging. It feels nerve-wracking. It's kind of scary. But is that USDC in there yet? History. Come on. It should tell me pending transaction. Not yet. Let's see, is it in there? Man, this should be instant. Well, that's the Ethereum network, making sure it's secure. All right. So yeah, MicroStrategy looks amazing. Tesla looks great. There's a lot of good trades in here. There's really a lot of good trades. But Ethereum is absolutely ripping. BMNR and MicroStrategy are lagging on this. Typically, what I think is happening here, Ethereum is about to hit all-time highs today. What I think is happening here is they're debasing MSTR, and BMNR are debasing their own currency. They're debasing their stock. They're creating more of it. They're diluting the shares so that they can go buy more. So the question is, who really leads? That's a good question. We don't know. I would say that the stocks are actually going to lead the rally. So once we get Ethereum start to consolidate, Bitmine Technologies, BMNR, starts to rip higher again. But it needs to. What's going to happen is the market cap is going to fall. I'm sorry, the market cap's going to shoot up because they're raising 20 billion at the same time that, see, it's already happening. The market cap's going to shoot up, but the price isn't going to move very much. And people are going to be upset. But then the price will catch up. It'll play catch up. So you can ignore all this crap because it got so diluted, right? This looks like the all-time high. That's not the all-time high. That was a market cap of not even a 1 billion, right? So it got really diluted. But, and I know people are worried about that. It's so diluted, it's irrelevant. They're buying more Bitcoin per share. In a bull market, if you're collecting more Ethereum or Bitcoin in a crypto bull market, then you're eventually going to catch up. You're going to play catch up. You're going to surpass the coin as far as compounding. Why? Because you're getting more Ethereum per share. You're locking that in. It's easy access to institutions. All right, I'm trying to see if we got some USDC yet. So we can buy some Tempus. We're gonna be buying it at a high too. I really don't want to be buying this high, but it is what it is. Let me check my phone to see if it's still pending. It can be really scary. It can be nerve-wracking trying to buy this or trying to switch. There it is, still pending. It's in transit. Not there yet. Yeah, so that's BMNR right now. Now, Chainlink is still going to be my favorite. We'll take a look at some of these. Shooting straight up. This is a what? What are we at market cap? 16 billion. So when Chainlink is around, what is that? 15 bucks. I'm sorry, 20 bucks. It's around 21 bucks is a 15 billion market cap. 10x from here. Can we 10x from here? Can we do a 10x? Possibly. Possibly. Well, crypto is very strong. Also, we had a new IPO today. I think it's called Bullish. And this is, oh yeah, here's the IPO. One candlestick. This is a tokenization company started by the CEO is the old New York's vice president of the New York Stock Exchange. He talked about crypto. This is one thing that got me so bullish about crypto in the first place. The New York Stock Exchange guy, he invested in Coinbase in like 2014, way back, right? I think it was 2014. It was early. And he basically said that crypto would overtake the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, there we go. We got our money, right? It would overtake the New York Stock Exchange and disrupt it way back then. So if the guy in the New York Stock Exchange is saying this, why wouldn't you be bullish? That's one reason I've been so bullish on crypto. Now it's here. Now everybody's going to say, "Oh yeah, crypto." But we're trying to be early. I think the next 100x opportunity that's a real actual asset is going to be, I'm not going to say, I'm going to make a video about that one. So here we go. We got our 100 in equity from USDC, right? It took faster than 2 days when it comes to the normal financial system. This is why, stablecoins are going to be so powerful and they're going to overtake cash in the system because it's way faster to settle, right? It removes a lot of risks. Now we have to sell it. Okay. Are you going to get hit with a tax event? Well, there's no capital gains. So not really. 100, submit sell. All right. Now that should transfer into cash. So let's go back to our investing. Now we have cash. Now we're going to go get Tempus AI, TEM. So we ended up buying what? 6 stocks? That's fine. I mean, the all-time high is 89. So we're just starting to break technically. All right, let's go ahead and buy that 100. We have $104. Review. Buy. There we go. We are complete. We're coming up on 45 minutes. Don't want to make it too long. Okay, now, so now we can go ahead and take a look at the portfolio. I'm not going to, I want to look at the other part of the portfolio. We'll just track it like this, where it kind of shows the round, but because we're live right now, I don't want to show that. I don't want to show any credentials in the portfolio, so I'm not going to do that. From here, you can't really see this account. This is not my Robinhood account. This is the one that I'm using. My credentials are not, I don't think it's good to show your credentials in the first place. You just never know, right? So I'll show that in a video where I can block it out later. Anyways, here we go. So here's our portfolio so far. I believe these are, crypto plus stocks. We have Chainlink, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tesla, MicroStrategy, Bitmine. Today we added Salesforce, CRM. We have Xometry, digital manufacturing AI. This is AI agents. We have Lemonade, insurance AI. We have Lululemon, not AI. This is, this is the only one that's not really AI. Lululemon, this is just more of a good opportunity from a cyclical growth stock. I'm in early because I know consumer spending will pick up again. Right now, most of the GDP in the market is due to data center build outs and AI. It's gonna convert once we get the tax cuts next year. UNH, UNH, that's just stock that's over, got killed, got destroyed. It's overdone, right? It's overdone to the downside. I think it goes much higher, maybe back to all-time highs at some point. I'm just playing the upside. Maybe I can double it and then, or, go up 50% and I can, transfer that cash into another opportunity that I see long-term. ENPH, the riskiest play by far, but it's way overdone, right? And I have a small share. We got 25 bucks in there. If it falls another 25%, okay, I'm down 14 bucks. Great. I'll add more, right? I wouldn't get big size in this though. Do not think, oh, I can just add half of my half my cash in my bank account. No, do not do that here. Tempus AI. This is oncology or AI, healthcare AI, right? That's our portfolio. That's what I wanted to show today. Just to give an example, I'm gonna do, we're gonna do these updates on a weekly basis. No, I'm just kidding. Probably a monthly. Honestly, when I see fit, I don't know what. Just keep your notifications on, right? Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Subscribe. Keep your notifications on. I'm gonna show you how to grow, how to double this portfolio, right? Right now we're up. Does it say all time? We can't do all time because I used to have, a bunch of cash in here and I took it out. So we can't do all time. We're going to have to do when this flatlines. This flatline is where we're going to measure from. So that would be inaccurate because it's, I wish they would let you build more than one portfolio so that you can do examples, but they're not. If you guys know about that, let me know. So yeah, we'll do past 3 months. We're up 19% right now. And it's really been in the last, 2 weeks? We'll just say the last month, we're up 20%. So I expect this portfolio to double within the year. It's definitely going to double by the end of the year. I almost guarantee. Okay, I can't guarantee. I think we're going to double by the end of the year. The real question is, can we do a Well, you know what? I think we'll just keep it at 100% growth. I think we can double by the end of the year. We'll keep it there. All right. We're going to keep track of this portfolio, like I said. And that's all I have for you guys. I'll go ahead and check me out on, I got a Twitter. If you're interested, I got Twitter. We got a Discord, free Discord. Check that out. Got some tools in there. We have, if you follow me on, if you want, I don't really care. You can follow me on Twitter. Twitter, you should. Honestly, Twitter is where I give the most alpha on Twitter. YouTube, you make videos for, educational videos on YouTube. But for the most part, yeah, also check out that, check out my newsletter where I'm going to be sending out you're going to get that first. You're going to get the investing playbook on the newsletter. You can get that. That's free. There's courses on there. I have beginner guide technical analysis courses, more advanced macroeconomics. This is what in the advanced course is going to really give you like, hey, this is why I should be bullish, right? This environment is very bullish. You want to know the why because I may not always be here. So in the future, you want to know why. You don't want to just follow somebody and copy them because when they're gone, you don't really know how to get there, right? You're not going to know how to get there. You're not going to know all the, the actual fundamentals of it. So take that course. I'm going to be giving as much as I can throughout these lives and videos to show you really that investing is not that hard. Just people make stupid decisions, including myself. I've made a lot of bad mistakes and it's a learning curve. And so, yeah, but we're definitely going to double this portfolio. This is growth. This is pure growth. These are growth, cyclical, high beta momentum stocks that we're buying here. We will sell them if we need to, right? If they go up too much, if we hit the end of the super cycle, we're going to sell them. We're going to rotate into what? Defensiveness. We're going to rotate in some defensive stocks, whether they're defending against inflation, recession, or just defensively, fixed income. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. You guys stay blessed. I'll catch you on the next video. Hit the outro. Actually, let's do this as the outro.
Ich fick dich, Alter.
Ja, komm doch. Olleg.